Hey everyone, Tony Cosera here. I want to give you my real quick first impressions on the new Steam Deck OLED from Valve. I think this machine is great. I'm coming from an ROG Ally. I absolutely love this thing. Let me tell you real quick why I love it so much. So first and foremost, this screen, my God, is it beautiful. Oh my God, once you see OLED, you really can't unsee OLED. The contrast, the colors, the just beauty of it, it's just amazing. And I really love the improvements that they've made to this where they've just optimized it. They've made the battery a little bigger, they've gotten the performance better by keeping the same processor but with a smaller die so it's more performant. The OLED screen itself consumes less power than the old LCD, and you just get extra battery life with basically the same performance as before, which is amazing because the thing that I really had a problem with on the ROG Ally was just that the battery life was not enough. After about an hour or so of playing, I'd be starting to think about having to charge it, and I really didn't get a time to get into the groove with the game like I can with this. So yeah, I've played this thing for a couple of 2 to 3 hour sessions and still had battery left over, never got worried about my battery running out. Lets me really enjoy the experience more than I could with the ROG Ally. Something else that I love about this, I'm gonna imagine some of you watching right now are getting anxiety about this game going and just this ship getting hit and everything, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop because I want to talk about SteamOS a little bit here. They took Linux, they made their own distro, and it is really nice. And the nice thing about it still being Linux is that you can switch very easily to Linux under the hood. As someone who likes to tinker with things occasionally, and I install emulators myself, but I also like that it's not the first thing that you see. This is definitely a gaming device first, it goes into gaming mode first, and I really like that. Super easy to use, pick up and play, I never worry about it. The other thing that's really nice about this is it's super easy to work with. On the back here we just have, if it'll go into focus, 8 Torx screws. They're all the same size and same thread thickness. I don't know what the word is. But basically, it's really easy to service. I opened the back myself, and I replaced the hard drive myself with a 2 terabyte SN740 that I have. I was using the ROG Ally. And yeah, I was able to format it. I don't like that there is no recovery image sort of built into the BIOS the way the ROG Ally has. The ROG Ally has basically a way that if you slap in a new hard drive, you just go into the recovery mode and it will format it, set it up, install the drivers and everything, you're good to go. With Steam, you still have to download an image from Valve's website and make your own thumb drive or something. I actually used my SD card, which was super convenient. Just slap that in there. It wasn't like a flawless experience, but it was fine. It's a little bit more, I think, work than, surprisingly for the audience this is for, which is like very casual gamers, it's more work than I think is necessary, which is funny. The ROG Ally, which is definitely for people who want more power, actually had the easier experience putting in a new hard drive. Whatever, it's not a big deal. I'm gonna imagine that actually they probably have the numbers and they probably find that most people who are putting in the hard drives themselves is probably a very small number of us. I bet you most people are just using the hard drive it comes with. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure Valve would prioritize it. This also works really great with Bluetooth devices. I use my AirPods Pro 2 with this regularly. It was really easy to set up. There were no problems. It was actually easier than setting up on Windows, but that I'm gonna attribute to more some Microsoft nonsense. But yeah, super easy to use with this. I think the thing that I've really enjoyed the most about this though, more than anything else, is the battery life. Just being able to play for longer game sessions, not worrying about whether or not I'm gonna actually run out of battery is amazing. And that's why I think this device ultimately is gonna win out of all the handhelds. Having used the ROG Ally and having sold it already, this is definitely what I would have loved to have gotten back in June when I bought the ROG Ally, but this just didn't exist yet. Now, one last thing that I'll say about the glossy versus matte. Obviously, you've been watching this, you've been seeing a lot of reflections happening. You'd see it on the matte as well, but it would just be more blurry. This is really a personal taste thing. I have a glossy OLED back there. I work with a 42-inch glossy OLED TV, and everyone's phone by default is a glossy phone, like the iPhone 14 Pro and 15 Pro, they are glossy screens. I am okay with glossy screens, even with this. And I even played this outside in a park yesterday, not with direct sunlight, but with a lot of indirect sunlight and occasional scatters, and it was fine. I think you're gonna run into the same problem with the matte screen as well. If you try to play outside in direct sunlight, you're gonna have a hard time seeing it. But I will say this, the brightness on this is fantastic. At max brightness, I was able to still see everything and play without any sort of interruption to my ability to focus on the gameplay. It's really good. I know we're probably not going to see a refresh for a long time, so if you're thinking about getting a device like this or one of the other ones, now is the time to get one. I think this in particular, the 512 OLED Glossy, is the way to go. Now, if you really want that matte screen, I've seen comparisons of the matte screen protector versus the nano etch screen that Valve ships. the nano etch is definitely much better than putting a matte screen protector on this. If you think there's any chance at all that you really want to put a matte screen protector on this, just go ahead and spend the extra $100, get the nano etch, don't even think about it. But if you're like me and you value clarity over the anti-reflectiveness properties, then get the glossy, don't worry about it. This is definitely a great decision. You're saving $100, and the screen is just so beautiful. Honestly, you really can't go wrong either way with it. I would just say if you are gonna get a glossy and you're thinking about putting the matte on it, just get the matte screen to begin with. Also, some other stuff that you might want if you're gonna be opening your Steam Deck, these are my tools. This is like a cheap little $15 tool that I got on Amazon. This is a pry kit from iFixit. I splurged on it because I saw that there were problems with the other pry kits where they didn't come with all the things you might need, or there were problems with edges being too like rough or something, you might damage it. iFixit quality tends to be good, they just tend to also be expensive, so you can get on sale, that's the best way to go. But yeah, these are tools that trade for me. I've had this guy for 2 years, I'll link it down below. Super cheap, really great kit, really highly recommended. All the bits are magnetic, and it's thin enough that I've been able to fit it almost anywhere with PC building. Highly recommend. One last thing I want to talk about. The case that it comes with is just fantastic. This is great. I don't think you need to buy another case unless you really want like a thinner case, then fine, go get like a TomTalk or something. I have a TomTalk and I'm actually going to return it because I'm not 100% sure that the joysticks aren't being pushed inside of it. So let me just try to show you here. So see the joystick here, and when you try to close it, oh, it's so hard to see, but I swear to God, it does not look like the joystick is fully in there. It's gonna be so hard to show on camera, but basically this part of the joystick is touching this part of the case. And maybe once it's in, it doesn't, but I get this feeling that this is just being slightly nudged like that. And that is how you get Joy-Con drift. And I'm not willing to risk it for that. I'd rather keep the bigger case for now. If it drives me crazy, I'll try some other cases, but the bigger case is fine. It travels with me in my backpack, in a big backpack that has plenty of room, and I don't really travel with it that much anyhow. Maybe you want to get like a Waterfield case, those are pretty cool. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. Steam Deck OLED, amazing device. Go buy one, they're awesome. If you're thinking about getting one, don't get the ROG Ally, don't get the Legion Go. Steam Deck's the right one. I'm not going to be multiplayer competitive gaming on this. That's not what this is for. I have a gaming PC for that. You know, this is my like, hey, I've got an hour to kill, I want to like play a game real quick. I love that. This is perfect. Get this one. This is the one. That's it. That's it. Why are you still here? Oh, you need to subscribe to my channel. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment down below. I'm gonna do another video real soon. I did have some problems with the Steam Deck OLED, nothing that would make me return it, but I do think that they're ones that a lot of people are talking about, and if you want to know about them, if you want to know what I think about them, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're gonna have another video for you real soon. Thanks.